Hello, and welcome to Limited Edition Kingdom Hearts. We're now on episode 2, Another Side, Another Story. I'm here joined again, by Jake Palmer
What up?
and the lovely Alex O'Neill.
Hey!
He got the last name. Yay!
So it's been a little while since we put out the first one. Things were just kind of hectic with June, kind of funny prom, and then people were just getting sick and tired, and stuff happened in July.
Yeah.
So how's everyone doing?
Good. Got to finish this game that I never finished playing through before, so can't wait to talk
I'm great,
about it.
man.
I can't wait.
We've met now. All of us
Right?
have met. I feel like that's important.
Yeah, there's picture proof that we all
Yeah,
met.
dude, we took a very cute picture together.
did. It's in our
I have it
DM
on
somewhere.
my phone. It's in there. Did I
It's in
send it to you? Somewhere.
I know I've seen it.
Throw it up on the blast screen. All right. We're gonna put it up here now. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have that technology. I don't know.
Who knows? And if I'm not lazy, I might do it.
You told me before we started this that you were going the laziest route as possible route. So
Yeah, but
Well, with audio.
I
but
mean, yeah,
video,
audio.
you just have to.
Sorry, audio
Image.
listeners,
Yep.
you're not gonna get that.
true. You guys got like a great little overlay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We have like Roxas right here, Sora's like right above Alex over there, and then it's just beautiful.
I'm just glad I drew this back when I drew the first one. Otherwise, I would not have had this prepared.
I was gonna ask him like, did you actually do this overlay like right before the podcast was starting?
No.
I've not seen this one. I saw the first one though. I really liked it. So
I'll
Yeah,
show you
but
after.
then okay, so that's good. Yeah, because last time I was fighting E. coli. Alex, you said you're doing a little better because you were sick too, and I think we're all running off fumes last
Yeah.
time.
I'm actually surprised that I did not get sick from Kind of Funny Prom. Like, I know Mike got sick, a lot of people got sick, but I didn't, and thankfully it didn't because I don't have health insurance right now.
hell yeah, that's dodging that bullet.
I know.
I mean, I just power through being sick most of the time anyway. So.
Yeah.
And where's the Dayquil at?
Right.
I got
Mm,
Just
yeah.
liquid
I also
form,
got to-
just drinking.
I got to meet the third best friend. I got to meet Mike, and I told him he was bullshit to his face for not like. I'm pretty sure Jake was there when I said that.
No, you were. Yeah, I was there, and I saw that, and it was amazing.
He was like, "Yeah, listen to what this guy's talking about."
Hey, he doesn't like Kingdom Hearts. It's his fault.
Yeah, true. Everybody can change. Come on.
I know.
I'm just kidding. You're fine. Wherever you are, Mike, you're beautiful the way you are. I'm
Don't
sorry.
let him off the hook. Don't let him off the hook.
I just want to be nice.
He's off trying to find more vinyl to buy.
Y'all invited me on this very nice show. I don't want to come in here and just ruin him.
We can have him in on the recap where we try to explain all of Kingdom Hearts to him.
Dude, give me
He would be here for 5 minutes and then instantly leave.
Just peace out.
Just
Yeah.
he's like, I'm done.
give me a bottle of whiskey, maybe bourbon, in like 2 hours. I got this.
Okay,
It's fine.
we're
Look
definitely
forward to
recording that.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You gotta record that bad boy.
Oh my goodness.
He'll
All
need
right.
a bottle of bourbon too.
Yeah.
If he drank,
Yeah.
he'll just look at it.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll just drink two.
Just buy him a flat of Monster.
Oh yeah.
He'll be good.
Monster Rehab to be specific.
Rehab. Yep.
He'll be good.
Gotcha.
All right. So to recap, last episode we talked about Kingdom Hearts 1 and also more specifically Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Yes. So you leave the game and it goes directly into Chain of Memories. So I'm going to do a brief recap, not hour-long session over here. The game opens up. It's bright. You don't know where the hell you are. Suddenly you see Pluto. He's walking around. He has a like King Mickey letter in his mouth. You follow him. You enter into a crossroads. All of a sudden it gets dark, and there's this dude in a hood who, if you played Final Mix, looks very much similar to the dude you fight in Hollow Bastion. He basically invites you into Castle Oblivion, where to gain is to lose is to gain. To progress through the castle, you're going to lose memories, and right off the bat, they start to lose memories. They don't have their spells or abilities, anything that they gained during Kingdom Hearts 1, which I thought was a smart way to handle we can't be overpowered, but we can't also ignore the previous game.
It's
So,
better than the way they do it in 2, that's for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, we'll touch on that because a plot point later in Chain of Memories would have you believe that he did. But so as you go through the castle, you encounter even more of these cloak characters who you find out to be part of the Organization 13, a league of nobody, to which we don't know what that actually means yet.
If I remember correctly, and I know you're playing it, so you're probably fresher. I think they just call it the organization in this game.
They do.
They do.
Yeah, so we don't know necessarily it's Organization 13.
Mhm.
They're just called the organization,
Yeah.
which is very good.
Thank you for the fact check.
That's what I'm the lore guy, man.
Yeah, you are.
You brought me in here for this.
Spoilers
It's
for
true.
2.
Spoilers for 2. Oh, we fucking ruined
Oh
it.
man.
We talked about shit during
Show's
the first
over.
You run into Axel, who definitely separates himself from the other members of the organization, a little bit more rambunctious, and seems to a little bit be more on your side, which we don't know why during the events of Chain of Memories. So as you're going through the castle, you keep losing your memories. Goofy remembers something about Hollow Bastion, can't remember the name, but they remember events during that. You keep progressing through the game. You find out that you run into a Riku, of which you believe is Riku, but you think he's having the same memory effects and problems that you're going through. But it turns out this is actually a member of the organization's creation. Ultimately, the person that's messing with your memories and implanting herself into your memories in place of Kairi, she's being used by the organization. Her name is Namine. So you're trying to, at the end, you finally reach her, you're trying to save her, and then you and this fake Riku take down. I always thought his name was Marluxia, but when you actually hear his voice recited, I can't remember if in the original Game Boy Advance version you hear his name, but in the Recom you do, and it's Marluxa? Marluxia.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which does sound cooler, to be
Yeah.
fair. I always thought it was Marluxia as
Yeah.
well. But Marluxia does sound good. It sounds very villainy.
Mhm.
It does. Marluxia, like, it sounds more almost like a hero name a little bit. It has that flair to it. So after you defeat
Marluxia.
Marluxia, Minutia, you're given a choice from Nominee. You can either recover your forgotten memories and go back to how you were before entering the castle, or stay as you are. And Sora, of course, chooses to regain his memory, but he says that he's going to keep his promise and he will never forget Nominee, and they will meet again soon. So after you defeat the game, you unlock another portion of it where you actually play as Riku. Riku gets out of, and I always mess this up. I always say it's the world of darkness. Is that where he's actually escaping from?
I believe that is correct in this case.
Okay.
This is part where I typically get confused as well. Because they went through the door to darkness. So I assume they're in the land of darkness.
Right.
And it appears, we'll way later find out it's very similar, or it appears to be the same place that Aqua ends up, which I know for sure is the land of darkness. So I'm going to assume yes. And they were looking for the door to light.
Right. So he escapes from there and ends up in the basement of Castle Oblivion. And he's trying to get out. And along the way, he keeps running into who he assumes is Ansem. And he's also fighting the darkness inside. Because Ansem is still kind of tethered to him in a way, down to his very core. And Ansem's trying to make him his vessel again. But King Mickey saves him in the throes of him almost succumbing to this. And the Ansem that you're actually physically fighting, not the self fighting it throughout the game as Riku, turns out to be a man called Diz. Diz is trying to, I guess in the broadest term, help Riku. After you find out that's who he really is, he tells you to go find Nominee. Nominee, once you reach her, gives you an ultimatum. She can help you figure out who Ansem is and your memories to, in theory, help you overcome this. But Riku decides he's gonna fight the shadow on his own, and he'll be more powerful for it, be a stronger person. So right at the end of the game, he decides not decides. After he leaves Castle Oblivion, he's walking out, and Diz says, "Are you choosing the path of light or the path of darkness?" And he chooses neither, and walks the road to dawn. Long-winded. I did not mention one thing. At the end of Sora's story, you see this cutscene, at least in the original, of a boy atop the clock tower in Twilight Town, and you have no idea who he is. Like, we all know who he is now, but my boy Roxas.
My boy. And that's Chain of Memories, right?
That is Chain of Memories.
Confused yet?
That was a good summary. It's been a minute since I went through that one, so.
So Chain of Memories, I wouldn't say is the start of the confusing thing. I think 358/2 days is where this starts to really get muddled.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that after we talk about Chain of
I
Memories.
feel like it's weirdly enough, I feel like it's 2 where it starts to get muddled.
2 gets into a lot of stuff. Like I'm
But I felt
playing
like
through it
2
now.
resolved a lot of stuff too. But again, it's been a while since I played it, so
Yeah.
we'll have that next time. But
Like just beginning to recently, I'm like, huh. Like now that I have Chain of Memories, like I've never finished Chain of Memories before. I never had the full story, but now I had the full story of Chain of Memories and playing 2. I'm like, oh, there's a lot more to this, and there's a lot more questions I have now about 2. We'll get into that like another episode, of course, but
right.
My thing is, like, people always said that if you had played Chain of Memories, then jumping into 2 makes perfect sense. But I still don't think that's true. I don't think that's what they intended it to feel like, too. Like, you're supposed to be confused at the beginning of 2.
Yep.
And you're not supposed to really know who Roxas is. Like, I think you can pick it together from context clues, but, like, when we were all kids playing this game for the first time, like, no.
I was like, who's this Sora wannabe? Get out of here. We're Sora.
Yeah. And then, like, that reveal at the end of Roxas's story that, who he is, and then how that carries out to the end of that game. Like, I don't think there's any one part of Chain of Memories that, like, really illuminates that. You just
they never talk about Roxas at all. Like, he's just that teaser at the end of the game. And then the words, I don't remember the exact words, but it's like at the end of the road, or where we'll meet again, or something like that.
Was Chain of Memories really come out before Kingdom Hearts 2? Because I don't.
It did.
Okay. Because the way I played it was they were all out already, and I never looked into it.
Yeah, I think it came out the year after Kingdom Hearts. It was 2003.
I wish this had the date on it. It doesn't,
Oh.
so I can't tell you.
But
I can do
I forgot
a
it was-
quick fact check.
I
But yeah,
forgot it was GBA.
Yeah. To be fair, like I talked to somebody about it relatively recently, and the sprites in that game are gorgeous.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I like the look of that game way better than 358 over 2 days.
Yeah.
So talking about Chain of Memories first, did any of you play it on the original GBA one?
I tried.
I tried. I
couldn't
couldn't.
get through it.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it for what it is, because there was a lot of card battle games coming out at that time, a lot on Game Boy Advance. We were talking about before we started recording Mega Man Battle Network. To its credit too, I actually do miss that series and wish they would do a collection for the Switch.
But like Battle Network was different, like
it was, because you had a grid that you could only move on. So
it
it
was
was
weirdly like a tactics meets action combat combo. Like, I don't know.
Whereas they actually created an action RPG, but the way of not just running around the screen and everything, they did make it a little bit strategized. You had to create the decks.
On the GBA, could you run around like in the PS2 version?
So what you had
I can't
was,
remember.
let's say like this is your battlefield. It is top down, so you could run around.
Oh, okay.
Because the enemies moved on, and the sprite work was great.
So just to clarify, Chain of Memories came out November in Japan of 2004. So 2 years after Kingdom Hearts 1.
So that came out right before Kingdom Hearts 2.
It came out December for us. Yeah. And then Kingdom Hearts 2
came out 05, right?
It came out 2005 for Japan and early 2006 for us.
Okay.
It was December 2005. So it was about a full year prior.
Mhm.
Um, so still like surprisingly pretty tight window there.
Yeah. Especially for so much story. Like for that was the amazing thing about this GBA. Like you actually had like cutscenes in this
Yeah.
game, and it's like
It-
a full story. It was
super compressed though. It was
oh
great.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
and there wasn't voice acting.
Yes, it was like
And
just
the Game Boy Advance
cutscenes
one.
with
Mhm.
subtitles.
Yeah.
Very very weird, but like they were.
It's still
they were
cool.
trying.
Like
Yeah.
being able to see that stuff on here is like, whoa, that. Like, of course, like our brain picks the differences, but like at the time, like, oh, it looks like the PS2 game cutscenes
Mhm.
on my Game Boy Advance.
I think like and we should talk about it. We should talk about the card battle system.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
do
yeah.
you guys feel about it?
That
I
was
loved it.
what turned me off the first run. I played
Mhm.
Initially, before I started playing the game, I was upset.
Okay.
Just because I forget what other series were doing it, but I remember some series I just did not like how they were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Fighting Kaidos. Oh, what was that
Oh.
GameCube game?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I cannot think of the name
I
either.
did not enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little afraid. But I loved Kingdom Hearts and I wanted more story.
Yeah.
This is all we had.
Yeah.
Um,
It did not do any numbers for me. Like I think on its value, like the card battle system is well constructed. Like what I ended up doing when I played through Rechain Memories, which is my first time like front to back completion of the game, there's like a trick to basically make the game easier, which is to make a slate deck. If you tap triangle, you can like cache a card, and if you cache 3 and they meet certain requirements, it creates a special move called a slight. And basically it's a deck front to back that's just tap triangle and then execute, tap triangle, hit execute. And it has no other purpose. And you just destroy absolutely everything in that game. Which is the way to play it, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because even like the boss fights were very annoying if you're just normally going through it. I'm just like, no, I can't do this. I need to find a better way to do that.
I think people would have been less upset about it, and like I think more open going forward to like them trying to put Kingdom Hearts on different platforms if this had been a more one-to-one thing for Kingdom Hearts and how that game played. Like if this was like a 2D action game, I think it would have been really cool for one, because I don't think there were a lot of games that look like this and were 2D action games on the GBA. But also I think people would have been a bit more receptive to it. Like people hate Chain of Memories for no real good reason, because like like I said, the system is well made. It's just like frustrating, and like the whole system of like when you use the slate, like the first card that you use or the last card you use like disappears from your deck and you can't use it again. It's like the whole recharge system is just like there's a lot of stuff that's like really hurts the pacing of combat. Even if it's supposed to be more tactical, but it's like I'm running around trying to figure out what I need to do, and like they're throwing up cards, and if my cards aren't as good, like I'm not doing as well. So
if you wanted to do the card system, you should have just left it for like the doors and the world, but not the combat system.
Yeah, so. I thought the exploratory stuff gets like really repetitive, but if it was just that, I think I would have been cooler with it.
That was actually the one thing I hated on the Game Boy Advance version. Because depending on what card you put in with the world card made it easier or more difficult or harder to navigate the world, and screwed myself out the first time I played it. Whatever card I used with Monstro, I could not finish that level anymore. So that stuff didn't really congeal too much with me. But I didn't have too much with the problem with the combat. I think there are definitely ways you could stack your deck and refreshing it before you even run out of it, just to get some of that back. So there was ways you could game the system. It just took a while. Early on, it's definitely way easier to die. But I found ways without doing cheating the slight system. So.
Yeah. Did you what did you think of Rechain of Memories?
Loved it.
Yes.
I haven't finished it yet. But having that 3D space, and there's stuff that they took from two to add to that combat system, because that came out with the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix in Japan.
Yes.
And then we
That's why
got it
it was called Final Mix Plus in Japan because it came with Rechain of Memories.
right, and then we got this like a year after in the US,
Mhm.
just standalone, not Kingdom Hearts 2.
Which
Final
is,
Mix, but
if you think about like how much dialogue there is in that game, like in 2008 or 2009, one of the two, they just dumped out Rechain of Memories in the United States, completely localized and voice acted
Yeah.
with like the full cast.
Right.
They didn't pull any punches, and it's like that game could not have sold well, because it was like
it came out in December, just out of the blue. Like, I don't think there was any advertising for it. Like, I saw it in an ad.
well into the PS3's life cycle. Like,
Yeah.
it was really weird.
Yeah. That was one game I looked at and I was like, do I rebuy it? And I didn't. I bought a PS2 during the beginning of the PS3 life cycle.
Because this came out in 07.
Mm-hmm. That's what
Okay.
I got my
And-
PS2 in 06.
To its credit, PS3 was still in its bad days during that. Like, it was just turning the corner
Yeah.
with Uncharted. But
Yeah, and also to its credit, the PS2 sold like
it was still selling hotcakes.
Yeah.
so
It was still selling.
it was
but,
doing all right.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the same year. Was it? No, it was a year after God of War 2. So I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, Rechain of Memories, they did a really great job. Like,
Yeah.
because I went and I finished that game when 1.5 HD collection came out, and I was just really pleasantly surprised at how great, like, the standalone story in that game is really good. I think.
Yeah.
Like, you really feel for Sora in this. Like, I feel
Mhm.
like this is the first time like I really empathized with him. Of like, he's like so confused, but he's also himself and so earnest and running around and like, I'm gonna do it, like I'm gonna help you, I promise. And like you could see like every time he's doing that, like tearing Naminé apart on the
Yeah.
inside, because she knows she's like manipulating him, and he's so vehemently like, no, this is it, this is real, it's real to me. It's heartbreaking. Like,
Yeah.
it is like a really subtle story that is told really well, and it like really hurts. And that's why like one of my, if not my number one favorite, just kind of standalone story in a Kingdom Hearts game. Obviously, like, the overarching Kingdom Hearts story is probably still my favorite, but like the individual stories that they're telling, like this one's really good.
I agree. That to counteract that one, like I felt really bad with Sora and Naminé. Like I really felt bad for Naminé, like having to do this, and you could tell it's tearing her apart. But the one that kills me it's always going to be Riku that kills me.
Yeah.
He's like my favorite character. To see him fight this darkness, to like try and triumph over this, and just that one broke me too.
This is where they made him a good character.
Yeah,
like
he wasn't
They
a
really
jerk.
turned it around. Yeah. And it's like, it's really cool that we get to play as him in this, because it's like coming right off of 1, and he did like so much bad stuff,
Mhm.
and he's really upset about it. Like, he
Yeah.
genuinely is upset with himself, and they convey that well, and they help him redeem himself, and like it ends with the Way to Dawn. It's like, yeah, like this character is on a new path that feels really good.
Mhm.
I think that's so cool. Like, they pivoted obviously after Kingdom Hearts 1 in a lot of ways, but like them making him more of a protagonist, downright to being like a playable character and giving him his own story is really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Chain of Memories is
Completely
good.
Yes, it's really
Yeah.
good.
My question for you guys, now that you've played it, now that we're like in this and we're going through all of them,
Mhm.
how essential do you feel Chain of Memories is?
So, back after I played it in like the years since, like, and you kind of like condensed memories and stuff like that, I always felt it wasn't non-essential. Mostly because the game is almost like a rehash of Kingdom Hearts, just in a way that you could play it at a time, portable. But replaying it, and especially seeing a lot of stuff that pops up later in Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
I think it's way essential.
Get a lot of
especially
folks coming
like
back for 3.
Nominee,
Mhm.
especially. And I love the introduction to the organization and its characters, especially Axel.
Yeah.
Axel, dude.
Yeah, he's
So
awesome.
good. So good.
Yeah, it's definitely essential right now, especially with like, you get the backstory with Riku. You get, I was the one who played Kingdom Hearts 1 and then Kingdom Hearts 2, and I never went to Chain of Memories until recently. And there was so much more I wanted to know about the organization. There was so much more I wanted to know with Sora, and how did he get up? How did he end up here? What happened? And then finally playing through that story, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm in Castle Oblivion. I lose my memory. Okay, I'm gonna go in this chamber and regain my memories. No, there was a lot more, like, just a lot more struggles that he had to deal with. I feel like in this game than he did in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
There's a lot more feelings of like, how do you not fall to the darkness through a path like that? Like, you were almost there, like touching the darkness in a way with like the way with the anger of like towards like, I need to save Nominate, and it's like your memory of Kyrie's gone and all this stuff. But I feel like this was like a great story that they edited, and now I see it's definitely essential to it.
But the Riku who's trying to protect Nominee, that's a copy of Riku.
Yeah.
But Sora doesn't know that at the time,
Yeah,
right?
he doesn't know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Right.
But like, yeah, it's really great. It's like the character development game in a weird way. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Riku is built up. Sora, you get like you see what he's going through in a way. And plus he's like so isolated in this game. Like, you know, very early on he gets separated from Donald and Goofy, and he's like, he doesn't know he's being manipulated. And it's like I said, like, loving Sora as much as I do as a character, because we've been through so many weird epic journeys with him, like, it really hurts to go back and see him like in so much like pain that he doesn't know that he's in, right? Like, of like he's being controlled and manipulated so easily. But it, you know, obviously it works out in the end. It's cool. Like, I think there are a lot of things in Chain of Memories that are covered into. I think there are a lot of things that aren't essential, but there is no other point where like the organization is as mysterious as it is. There are no other points where you kind of, because we're going through the same story as we saw in 1, that we get to really sit with these characters and watch them grow. And like, the bigger thing is Castle Oblivion itself. Like, we later find out how important that is and how very important it's going to be in 3. Which is another thing, like, people are going to be going to that as a location, I would guarantee, in Kingdom Hearts 3. And a lot of people won't know what it is. And I'm curious, like, what shape does Castle Oblivion take in Kingdom Hearts 3 after we see, like, it can take the shape of pretty much anything.
I feel sorry for the Xbox players who probably won't be able to play all these games.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much it's gonna sell on Xbox.
Probably not much, but
Yeah. I mean, if for some reason you have a hardcore Kingdom Hearts fan that doesn't have a PS4 but does have an Xbox, that's a low number.
There'd
Probably
be a very, very small percentage of a person. Because
they,
I mean,
they got converted with Game Pass, man. Like,
yeah. I mean,
it's a great deal.
Well, I just mean like with 2.8 and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. There is a reality where somebody like had a PS2 and played all the Kingdom Hearts games.
I mean, Devil May Cry 4 was the best-selling Devil May Cry, and they didn't have 1 through 3 on Xbox. So
yeah,
true.
There are people that probably have an Xbox One, but
yeah,
I don't know, everyone in the world has a PS4. So as far as I know, so
it's true.
I'm not too worried.
And we're getting a limited edition PS4 for Kingdom Hearts. Like, all right, why are you putting this on Xbox?
Yeah, and then there's like the $100 get all Kingdom Hearts, every Kingdom Hearts that has ever lived.
Only
get
on
it all.
PS4.
Only on PS4.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I would say like you could probably watch the Chain of Memories movie, and you can get away with it.
Yeah,
like you don't have to play this game, but you should know what happens in it.
Oh yeah, just even like I went through and watched the cutscenes alone. Like they're well worth it.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Like it's like 5 hours of cutscenes, so it's way too long.
Oh, yeah.
But it's great. It's
The
a great
fact that all this whole game fit on a GBA is like mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that too. Like the game had more merit as like a portable game. With that battle system and everything, like you could pick it up and play. Whereas it seems more like a chore. Not that it's a chore, but you know what I mean. Like playing it on the remake and stuff like that. Whereas on the GBA, it did feel like a game that you pick up and play a little bit of it here and there. But yeah, I definitely think you should at least watch the movie version of it. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Now for this next game, don't play it. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I mean,
like so many people like 358.
Really?
Vehemently. My co-host Namishin likes it, and I would say like I really liked it when I first played it, and then when I went back and watched the movie version, I was like less into it. I think that's one that is more enjoyable to play, but
yeah.
hit me with the recap. Let's start there.
Let's throw it down. So this one's gonna be. I have condensed the hell out of this one. So 358/2 days can be summed up as Roxas's time spent with Organization 13. Now they actually do say it's Organization 13 at this point because this came out 3 years after Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yes.
It's his time spent with them and also his ultimate abandoning, leaving them. The good days spent with Axel, which makes up a good portion of the game, and his new friend Zion. How do you pronounce her name?
Shion.
Organization member 14.
Twist.
I know. It's not
also a name I had no idea how to pronounce when I played the game. So
I always just called her Zion.
I think I called her Exion.
I called her Exion.
A lot of people call her Exion. Yeah, I remember that.
And then
Shion
you hear
also
the name.
sounds way cooler, so like
Yeah.
I can't be mad.
Thank God it's not Exion. Sounds like a Pokemon.
But throughout the game, spent with Shion, who is another Keyblade wielder, like Roxas. She begins to find out who they really are, in which that is a puppet, a nobody puppet, if I remember correctly, created by Organization 13 as a failsafe in case Roxas or Sora doesn't exactly turn out what they want from them. And that she would... Go ahead.
I didn't want to interject, but I think it's been a bit, so bear with me. I think she is a replica in the same way that the Riku replica is. Like, I don't think she came from a person.
No.
So, like, that's why I hesitate to call her a Nova.
Because
is Vexen still around?
No.
Oh God, we're gonna jump down a huge rabbit hole here.
Shion was made before Vexen like died, so.
But his copies lasted after his death.
Mm-hmm. I mean, dog, you can go watch that Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. We see a shot of the Riku replica in that thing. So we're going into a deep rabbit hole.
Oh, it's
moving on. We're just gonna say that's what happened. Okay, Shion.
It's like the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate of Kingdom Hearts.
Oh my God.
Everybody is here.
Shion was born from memory sores, though. And so throughout the game, that's happening, and ultimately, Shion is trying to, very personal conflict with Shion, and that to become complete, she has to take out, or I keep saying Shion's not actually a she or he, but they have to take out Roxas to get those rest of those memories. And Sora himself can't complete his coma thing while Shion is alive.
Yeah, This
is why I think 358/2 days is a big problem in that it fucks up the Kingdom Hearts universe.
I feel like it's not too bad because like it feels kind of standalone. Like it has a finite beginning, middle, and end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were to play it, like, I don't think it would be confusing. If you were to watch it, like, that is how you would consume this at this point. I don't think it's confusing. Like, I think, like, you get it.
I think just playing the game before you know everything else that's happening,
Mhm.
it works as a standalone.
Yeah, it's like the thing that frustrates me is like there's so much good shit with Shion in this game, like that you get later on, and like you appreciate going back. Like, so Shion, it being what it is, like they appeared physically different to different people.
Different people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So at one point when Zigbar is frustrated and looks at her,
Mhm.
he sees Ventus.
Yep.
Which we don't know it's Ventus at that point. But then, like, when you start going back through the rabbit hole of, like, why does he see Ventus? Like, if Shion's supposed to reflect people that are connected to Sora, that's why Roxas kind of sees, like, this interpretation of Kyrie with dark hair. He sees Ventus because, like, what we find out happened to Ventus later on. It's a lot of really cool stuff, and really subtle kind of building up. Like, that was the first time, like, you ever see Ventus ever,
Yeah.
outside of, like, the Kingdom Hearts 2 ending scene, or post-credit scene. So, like, they start laying the groundwork for how deep that connection is. And then, obviously, Shion comes back in Kingdom Hearts 3D for a very brief moment. Also for Kingdom Hearts 3, because everybody's here. So, like, I don't know, like, hey, we took Roxas because we want to have a Keyblade wielder because we want to make this Kingdom Hearts this way, right? We've committed. We're gonna blow up some Heartless and make it this way. He's not getting the job done. We're gonna make our own replica as a backup plan, and if push comes to shove, we're gonna make them fight each other. Whoever wins, we'll keep that one. Roxas wins, you know. And then he finds out about Sora, and he finds out. But the thing that sticks with me is, like, Roxas ends that game furious, but he doesn't know why. He can't remember why. And it's like Shion's lingering will is in him, of, like, he killed her, and he's angry about it. He's angry that he had to do that the organization made him do that, and that's why he leaves, but he doesn't remember that.
And then Diz and Riku kidnap him and put him in a simulation.
And I do like that, you know, 358 starts most of the way through Kingdom Hearts 1 when Sora becomes a Heartless.
And then it takes place during Chain of Memories.
Yeah, during
and
Chain of
after.
Memories, and then literally leads up to the
Kingdom Hearts
opening
2.
second of Kingdom Hearts 2.
So
I think that's cool.
yeah, this game, like, it had a great story. It had me instantly because I wanted to know more about Organization 13, and I also wanted to see the relationship between Roxas and Axel, because I thought that was, like, such a cool thing to see, especially when they're nobodies. And it's like, okay, they don't have feelings or anything like this, but it's also cool to see this develop in a way. So I wonder how much more, like, we'll get into it in, like, 3. But I thought that was cool. And then once they introduce Shion, like, I had so many questions, but now after playing, like, Birth by Sleep, and you get all these other you get more story to it and more everything tying in, confuses the hell out of you. But it was a great storyline. I remember it was long.
So,
It's very
funny
long.
story. I played maybe like a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours, and I just started getting frustrated with the game. Never finished it. So I watched it when the remix came out.
That combat system was way better than Chain of Memories.
The camera was bugging me.
Camera's real bad.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. You could play all the organization members.
Yeah.
There's, like, that game had multiplayer also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4-player. Right?
Where you could hook up with your friends, play Axel.
I didn't have any friends that played Kingdom Hearts, but now I do.
You did, man. Still don't. No, I mean, like, I think front to back, like I said, I think it makes sense. I think when you start inserting, like, why does Shion have to come back? That's like, Shion is essentially a plot device that makes Roxas leave Organization 13. Like, that
Right.
makes sense. But also, like, not, right? Everybody has feelings. Everybody is, like, a connected and cares about other people. Like, and it's that game where they're kind of beating you over the head of like, man, maybe nobody's can have hearts. Like, Roxas cries when Shion dies, and it's
Right.
like, well, a nobody can cry. Does that mean they don't have a heart?
Yeah.
Like they are already trying to challenge that viewpoint. And I think a part of the reason why they leaned into that so hard is because of how hard they lean the other way in Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah.
Of, like,
Yeah.
Sora's like, you guys are fake, man. Like, I'm gonna kill you. You're like, well, Jesus Christ.
Diz was the worst, man. Diz was the worst. He was like, they don't feel anything. Kill them.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
Shout out to the late great man.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. I understand why they kind of went hard on it. So I think they did a generally good job. As far as like, hey, if you look at Chain of Memories as the game that built up Sora and Riku, like this is the game that built up Axel and Roxas. So
And that's actually why I wanted to play the game, because after playing 2, it's like I really want to know more about Roxas.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this game is about Roxas, but they decided to bring it out for the DS and have terrible camera controls, and I was just like, I'm done.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
So yeah, like Michael Snobishin loves the story of this game, but I don't love it. I do like it though.
Yeah.
I liked them hanging out. Like, I liked seeing that part of their life and everything. Ending the day every day just atop of the tower with sea salt and popsicles.
Boy, does it make the beginning of 2 much more
Sad.
understandable and sad. Yeah.
It's super sad, right?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. And it's another one of like, there's a lot of these people being manipulated, right? And like a lot of those big players that are making those big moves are gone, save for one, right? Except for Xehanort himself. And I like that. It helps. This is one of those things. I know it's like an ensemble game, but it leans into the kind of culmination feeling of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Ooh, one thing I did want to bring up. I did play this game before ever playing Chain of Memories. So seeing like random organization members like not there was like, what happened?
What happened to Steve?
Steve's dead, dog.
Yeah, Sora killed him.
Some kid killed him. To be fair,
This one
Riku had a way higher KD
Oh
ratio.
yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
He
No
burned, like,
mercy
4
with
of
that
those
boy.
guys.
And then some of them murdered each other. So it's like,
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
yeah.
So something I wanted to add to these episodes, I think we actually did it at the end of the first one, but I wanted it dubbed the Ansem Report.
Yeah.
So who is who right now? Because Zenmes, Diz, and Ansem supposedly still in Riku.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at, right? Because you just said Xehanort, but
Well, I mean, in the grand scheme of like, Xehanort was manipulating everything the whole time, right? He legitimately had a backup plan if everything went sour, and we are living in that reality now.
Yeah.
So like, he had backup plans for backup plans for backup plans, and also
Right.
like that you can see that started with Kingdom Hearts 2. I wonder, going back, because I haven't played 358 in a long time. Is there any point where you see Syx in 358 where he doesn't have golden eyes in 20 years? Like, I think that'd be really interesting.
I don't think so. I think his character design has always had that.
Yeah. Because like it'd be cool to see like pre-Norded, post-Norded Syx, because he's like the first one that we know about, right?
Right.
So.
But
Yes,
at
like,
this
big
time in the
numbers,
Ansem Report, all we know about is Zenmes, Diz, and Shadow Ansem.
As far as like big players,
Like people we know about that are Norded or Ansem or X gonna give it to you.
yeah, I mean, I guess like Diz, we don't know. We still don't really know.
Right.
He has golden eyes, but that was just always part of Ansem the Wise.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know where he is, but like we also don't know how he kind of comes back into things. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Boy, this will
See?
make better sense.
The Anson report will be more fleshed out as we go.
That's fine.
No, it's just with these two stories, it's like it's hard to like talk about both of these stories without involving two. And it's
Yeah.
like you really want
Right.
to start talking about
Because these
two,
are
but-
like, yeah,
They're both set up for 2.
yeah,
they end
yeah.
cap 2, but they both take place before.
Mhm.
I do like that, and again, like it is like this year that Sora is out. 358 days that he's gone, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, maybe like 350. Like the last part of Kingdom Hearts 1 is like a week.
Right.
I don't know, but and then leading up to the 2 days before the last 5 days of Kingdom Hearts 2, like Roxas vacation. It's
Well,
cool.
no, Kingdom Hearts takes place during like the first 2 weeks of 358, because it's Axel leaves for a while, and that's when you start hanging out with Shion, because Axel leaves to go to the Castle of Oblivion.
Yeah, but like I'm at Kingdom Hearts 1, not Chain of Memories. In that, like, because in that maybe there was like a day or maybe a week when Sora became a Heartless, and then
and then
got to
358,
Castle Oblivion. You know what I mean? Like, the game didn't end right there. There's some shit
It all
that
happened within 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was all like a hot minute. Sora gets around. I'm not trying to judge it,
Well, you don't know that.
All right. So let's talk about the trophy struggle. Jake? I know you played Recom on PS4. Alex, did you played the 1.5
For the PS3 one, yeah.
So what do you guys remember from the trophies? Not of 358
I
2
am
days.
not
'Cause we
getting the
know
platinum.
struggle on that
I am
one,
not getting the platinum.
I looked at the trophy list on PS4 recently because I was like, man, I got 1 and 2. I'll think about it. Yeah, right. It's a
No.
dark rabbit hole.
No.
Hard out.
Yep.
I have to say, hard out on ever playing Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on hard mode ever in my life. I think there's one that's like make 1,000 rooms or something terrible like that.
Yeah. No. It's not happening.
Jesus.
It's not happening. I'll go back for 1 and I'll definitely get the platinum for 2, but yeah, Chain of Memories is a no.
Well, it's easy getting that gold for 358 too.
Yeah, but you gotta watch it.
Yeah. It's like 3.5 hours. Dude.
Just turn it on and leave the room.
No, man.
No,
those
I gotta watch it
text,
though.
those text things come up. The little journal.
Oh, you're
entries when it's
right.
waiting. You gotta click
Yeah.
through that
Yeah.
shit. They got you.
So the struggle is real on both games.
This is the worst trophy. No, Birth by Sleep has the worst trophy list.
Oh, does it? Oh,
Well, like, just because doing everything in Birth by Sleep is like a
Yeah.
Herculean task. It is unbelievable.
It is. Yeah. I forgot.
I know one person that's ever done it, and it's like, it's my co-host Novish, and I don't know why he did it to himself.
So I need to play through that game because I've actually played through all of them except Aqua's story.
Oh, dude,
I know. She was like, I saved her for last.
it's like the best one.
I saved her for last, and like I put the PSP down for some reason, and I just never went back.
Birth by Sleep is great.
Well, we're gonna be playing it after 2,
So
and
for scheduling wise, so we're going to be talking about 2 next.
2
Then-
next, and then Birth by Sleep and Coded. We're just gonna lump those both together
I
because
remember
Coded's kind of like a.
We don't have to talk
footnote.
about Coded, actually. We can just skip that one.
It's like a footnote.
We can talk about the last 3 minutes of Kingdom Hearts Coded. And
I played like
it-
5 minutes of that game, and I put that right down.
I'm glad that's the one Kingdom Hearts game I didn't buy.
It's the one Kingdom Hearts game you can genuinely never play. Like, it's actually, you're good.
Yeah. Why did they come out with it?
So that has us through October, and then November we have Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance and Kingdom
Which I
Hearts
can't wait for.
Key. And I don't mean the mobile game. I mean like the cinematic.
Unchained Key,
Yeah.
the
And then,
the movie.
Mm-hmm.
December or January or whatever, we have 0.2.
A
Aqua's
fragmentary passage.
and then we have our roundup.
Then we have 3.
And then we have 3.
And then we have 3,
Ac-
which we're gonna
according-
take
according-
our time with.
Yeah,
So we can do that in
Oh,
February.
I'm taking like a week off of work, y'all.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing the same.
I'm taking a week off of life.
Cashing in that vacation time. What do you want from me? Like, listen, according to the internet, that game's like 50 to 80 hours long. So,
Oh my god.
I know I'm
Maybe-
playing. Right now I'm playing Octopath Traveler,
mhm.
and they're like, oh, 80 to 100 hours. I'm like, but I want more.
I like if that's roughly the same length as 2. If Kingdom Hearts 3 is as long as 2, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 was a good length.
Yeah.
I just can't wait to see all these worlds. Just how beautiful from the trailers they look. Oh,
Still worlds we probably don't know about yet.
I know.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen Big Hero 6, man.
True.
I want
Yeah, I guess-
Tarzan back.
Actually, important. Do we have a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3 since the last time we recorded?
Mm-hmm.
January 29th.
Mm-hmm.
January 29th.
Do we have
Uh,
we have a release date? It's
I
coming.
listen. I blindly believed in 2018, and I don't regret it.
Yeah, I
Hey.
forget what our predictions were because we all predicted when it was actually going to come out.
I think I said November. In the grand scheme of things, I wasn't that far off.
No, I
No,
think any
no.
of us were that far off. But
Could I have predicted that Resident Evil 2 remake was coming out 4 days beforehand? No. Will that stop me? Absolutely not.
No.
I beat that
just-
game.
Just gotta beat that game in one sitting. That's all.
It's not spooky at all.
No, not at all. I won't jump from liquors at all.
Yeah,
Not at
exactly.
all.
And
then-
we got like 26 different trailers actually also.
Oh yeah, we got a ton. We had a Toy Story World showed off. Monsters
Frozen.
Inc. Frozen.
Frozen.
Tangled.
Can we talk about Pirates of the motherfucking Caribbean?
Oh my
right
gosh.
now?
that
We're-
no one saw coming.
I didn't think that was coming back.
I believed in it. Like I wanted it because I was like, man, they got all this new power. They could really do something cool with this.
As long as the song isn't like a 30-second loop again.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of that in Kingdom Hearts too. Can I introduce a new segment, Hype Check, with Kingdom Hearts 3? Where are we at, fellas?
I think my hype is in check.
Yeah, it's in check.
I don't believe you.
There are a lot of games right now that came out for Switch this summer. That and No Man's Sky Next. We've been building a tower.
Oh, cool.
I'm at the crust. I'm at the threshold of hitting 100 hours into No Man's Sky on a
Wow.
new playthrough.
The redemption story over here.
Yes,
Mm.
I love,
love
it.
it.
I
I'm
love No
only
Man's
at,
Sky
like-
from the beginning, but
I'm only at like 12 hours, so I'm not as crazy.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts play, man. I get it.
that's right.
Kingdom Hearts, and I've been playing Octopath Traveler.
Fortnite,
Not so much.
not for me.
I need to go back in, but
Just picked up Dead Cells.
oh, I want to get that too.
Finished Chasm.
Too many games. Yeah, I
Really?
told you.
I can't wait to be able to buy all these games all at once and then never play them.
Never play them again. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Here's the thing. I know I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, of course.
I have a
Oh
question,
yeah.
question for you guys. The post-credit scene for Kingdom Hearts 3, because there's going to be one, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've already said that Sora will continue on into other stories of in the Kingdom Hearts world. Just this is the end of the Xehanort, the Dark Seeker saga.
Mm-hmm.
What would you want?
I want them just hanging out, having fun,
as the post-credit scene, just like Riku,
as opposed
Sora.
to like it setting up the next thing. I want them just hanging out, like, hey, we finally did it. Let's have this moment of reprieve.
I want everyone there.
Yes.
Everyone. Axel, Roxas, Naminé.
Gotta bring them back, man.
I know. I want everyone there.
Here's the Sophie's Choice situation. Can you bring back both Roxas and Ventus?
Screw Ventus.
Ventus is dead to me. Man, I like have either of you played 0.2?
No.
No.
I recently went back and played a little bit of it. The opening cinematic for that game is like the most depressing thing I've ever seen in my life.
Mm.
It is so sad.
So for 0.2,
Mm-hmm.
because I basically played through all of Birth by Sleep, but should I just play all of Birth by Sleep and then watch that right after, or should I watch?
No, I mean you could save 0.2 as like your appetizer, like the week or two before Kingdom Hearts 3 because it's
Yeah.
it's in Unreal Engine 4. It has a lot of the battle system and mechanics from Kingdom Hearts 3 as well.
Okay.
It also has like some reimagined Birth by Sleep mechanics in it, but like the whole finish system and the shot lock system, those are going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. So like those were originally in Birth by Sleep. So that I think would be fine.
I actually can't wait to go back through Birth by Sleep.
Like that game literally ends the second Kingdom Hearts 3 opens.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
like if you've watched the trailers and kind of pieced together where Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to start, what world that's going to start in, it ends right there.
Okay.
So, it's cool. Yeah, I think them all hanging out, being buddies, that'd be cool. Just on Destiny Islands. Then it zooms in on the beach.
Kind of like how
And a
the end
bottle
credits for
rolls up.
two was
with a
like
letter.
during the end credits you see all these people reuniting and everything.
The letter has a seal, but it's not Mickey Mouse's ears. It's the Avengers symbol.
Oh God. It's a Smash logo. Welcome to Smash.
Sora's like, I gotta go. They need me.
DLC coming in February.
Dude, anything is possible. Everyone is here.
Oh yeah.
K. Rool can make it. Anyone can make it.
You know what I really wanted in Kingdom Hearts 3? I know we'll never get it, but I would love like the world ends with you, like going to that system.
Oh, the system.
Yeah. Like
I wonder, man. They did some stuff in Dream Drop Distance. They're doing that World Ends With You re-release in October.
right. I would love to just revisit it again. Just
Yeah,
into-
I'm buying the remix.
It's now down to 50.
Yeah, I'm glad they dropped the price.
Yeah. No longer 60.
So yeah, getting that because it's been what that came out in 2011.
Yeah, I played it on the DS. I played it on the
Yeah.
phone.
I never played it, so
Oh,
tried.
It's good.
It's good.
yeah.
Like if you like Kingdom Hearts, like you should play The World Ends With You.
Is that game? It's only on PS4, right? Or
It's on Switch only.
okay. Oh, Switch only.
Yeah, the
It was a
remix is
Nintendo
only on
Switch exclusive. It was on DS
Okay,
originally.
yes,
Yep.
that makes sense. Okay,
It is
Switch
on
only.
iOS. So
Yeah.
Right, but that's not like the final remix. Like the,
it's not with the additional content that they're adding.
which is weird, but
I don't know. I'm excited.
no,
a
I'm
good
excited to play it again.
It's a good one.
It's a good game.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is liquid hype. Very excited.
I'm very excited for it. I just gotta keep it down here for now because it's still like a ways off.
Getting my blood pressure up right now. I need to.
We got
What?
we got Spider-Man. We got Red Dead 2.
We got Spider-Man.
We got Spider-Man
And
again.
then, and then like that whole Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, and I think Spider-Man's
so-
coming out in September.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2 isn't on my list, but
It's not on my list, actually.
yeah,
It's on my list.
Spider-Man's
Spider-Man.
not on my list, though, really. So
Oh, I can't wait for that game. That's my hype meter right now.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
I didn't think about it. I guess like September is 700 games in it, and it is like next month. So.
I know. Tomb Raider's
Spyro,
out in there
Tomb
too.
Raider, Spider-Man.
Valkyria Chronicles 4.
That and then Destiny 2's Forsaken. And
Get out of
there's-
here! Don't mention that game.
Yeah, let's go back. I've been playing Destiny 2, guys.
Listen. If you find me a team that can raid, I will gladly come back because that's my
what do you
only
want,
problem.
man? What do you want?
PS4.
Okay, dude. I got one. I got you.
I'll come
You're
back.
back.
I'll come back.
It's happening.
I'll come back. Because I love Destiny and I just can't do random groups for raids.
That's fine.
I can't do it.
I'm here for you.
Thank
I'll
you.
catch you in my arms and
Thank
carry
you.
you through that raid.
Oh, you're not carrying me. No. I'm a strong guardian.
Yeah, if anything, everyone's.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening and watching Limited Edition Kingdom Hearts. This has been Volume 2, Another Side, Another Story. Thank you again, Alex, for joining us. Where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at alfighter27. I run a website. It's called irrationalpassions.com. We got podcasts and stuff.
And you guys just got a Discord recently, too.
Yeah, we have a Discord if you want to come in and chat with us. The two of the podcast hosts that like do not use Twitter at all, like they're actually in there a lot. So You actually talk to Scott and Tony. One thing I do want to shout out: we launched a limited run podcast series similar to this pretty recently. It's called Podcast Ultimate. It's a Super Smash Brothers Ultimate podcast.
Oh, that's right. I saw that on Twitter.
It's a video only series that Mike Burgess hosts, our video producer. He does a great job putting together B-roll and stuff. I think we're recording episode 2 next week. We'll be talking about that direct that happens the day that we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun show. It's once a month, and and we're gonna be at PAX West. So if you're gonna be in Seattle,
Nice.
come say hi to me and hug me. It'll be fun.
He's a great person to hug.
I like to think so.
Oh,
I hugged
I
you
know
guys a
so
lot.
now.
Yeah,
We hugged like more than 3 times.
More
I
than
think.
4 times.
Oh yeah, easily. Every time we saw each other, we hugged.
I'm a hugger, man.
I love
Just
it.
can't get me to quit once I start.
That's okay.
We don't want to quit you. Jake, where can people find you?
Jake P47, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram.
And I haven't even said my name the entire episode. I've been MC Wright. You can find me at Shoes42 on Twitter and Instagram. And you can now find Three Best Friends Podcast at www.3bfpodcast.com.
You'll find all our podcasts there. Just click a
And you
button.
can write in. So if you want to write in a question that we feature at the end of the week,
If you have a question about Kingdom Hearts, tweet at Towndrow1214.
there you go.
That's a good. I'll tweet him. I got so many questions.
I would love to see his response.
Hashtag Kingdom Hearts isn't for nerds.
It's for cool people.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember,
Thanks.
there's always light in the darkness.
Take it easy, guys.